Do you love made-for-TV movies? We sure do. We always have. In 30 years of friendship, we've laughed, cried, diagnosed, and obsessed over every made-for-TV movie we could get our eyes on.
Did you know that most made-for-TV movies are about amazing people who have risked their lives to change the world?
We'll be taking you through the last 60 years of some of the most powerful stories. We'll see what's changed and what's exactly the same.
We also love a nice synthesizer and a sweet satin blouse. And we think you will too.
I'm Steph.
I'm Liz.
And this is
No One Would Tell, Except Us podcast.
Welcome to another episode of No One Would Tell Except Us podcast. I'm Steph.
I'm Liz.
We're so excited today. This is our first sequel that we're covering.
Yes.
So this is our first continuation episode. And we love a good sequel.
Mm-hmm.
We love, not a bad sequel, a good sequel. We love. So we are covering her final Fury, the Betty Broderick story, 1992.
Yes.
And Liz, you said you liked this one better than the original.
I did, which was really surprising because as a younger adult, and like probably when I was a teenager, when I would watch it, I would be like, oh, they're doing the court part. Like, I'll watch it, but I want to see the beginning. You know, like that's really the
juice.
Fury. Yeah,
Right.
That's the juice. That's the Fury juice I want to, watch. But I did because I think psychologically watching her and then seeing because I think, when I listened back at our podcast, there was a lot of kind of empathizing with Betty, which I still would, but when you see how she acts towards everybody, and then the way she trips up in her lies, you're just kind of you're just, I don't know if I believe anything that you said happened,
right?
Because you're just not credible anymore. And she's also they mention the psychiatrist, which is what helps kind of seal the deal, because she has two court cases,
right?
Because the first one's a hung jury or whatever, a mistrial. But she to become a narcissist, you have to have 5 out of the 9 personality disorders, and she had 9 out of 9. So she's just a true narcissist in all of its form, in every single way that someone would categorize someone as that. And I just think that's fascinating, because how many people can say that?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, this whole situation, I think, has not become a brand, but I mean, people are definitely fascinated. And we've talked about, and we'll talk more about, how it's unfortunate, because it's a lot of the issues that were raised are legit women's issues,
right?
But it's been so tragic and horrendous that, that did not really achieve anything.
Right.
So why don't we get into one of your sassy synopses?
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is obviously, she's, called her daughter and been like, I did it. And then that's kind of the intro. They show her murdering them again, just in case you forgot what happened.
Right. The point of this. Right.
But I guess if you're just tuning into the second one, which why? But if you were, so they show that she kills them, and she admits to it. And she does turn herself in, which that as a narcissist, I was like, that's kind of interesting. That's kind of maybe she just thought they're going to know. I don't know. So she turns herself in, and they start to go to trial, and she is ridiculously hard to work with. I mean, all these lawyers she's going through, she's basically you're not smart as me, you're not good enough, and she's horrible to them, and they're all quitting. So she finally finds some guy, who's probably I don't know, he'd remind me of Kim Kardashian's deceased father. He's just I can do this. And he makes a trial that makes it look like she was abused and she was driven to do what she did, and that she was really going in there to kill herself, because he was taking away the children, and he was taking away everything that she worked for. And that she had no choice. She felt trapped. She felt endangered. Just kind of the whole victim card, and how she deserved it. Maybe it made her temporarily insane, but wouldn't you be if you had, supported and done everything for someone, and then they treated you like this and took everything from you? So it really tugs on the heartstrings of the jury. And
Yeah.
there's a mistrial. And she's just like, booyah, like, I'm out of here. Like, which she's not. They keep her,
I don't know
think
what
she
the
did.
bail situation was. Yeah. I don't remember
Yeah.
like what.
They didn't touch
Yeah.
on that. Yeah. To my knowledge, she never left jail since she turned herself in, which is
Yeah.
interesting. Because you would think with a mistrial, they would be like, maybe they had to bring it before a judge to be like, do we trial her again? Maybe that's what they were waiting for. And so they wouldn't release her. I don't know how that works, but they didn't really comment on that, which is interesting.
No.
So she mistrials, and her lawyers are like, this is good, Betty. Like, this is real good. And he's like, you're going to get out of this one scot-free. And she's like, I knew I would. And the prosecutor is like this lovely lady who has like 2 boys that are like the same age as like Betty's boys. And she's just like, I don't know if I can do this again. Like, this was emotionally like depleting. And then she was like, this is exactly who I fight for. Like, I fight for the women that she's trying to present herself as, like real women who are in domestic violence and who were abused. And this woman's a flat out liar. Like,
Yeah.
if I don't do this, then what am I doing? Like, she should be in jail. She killed somebody and took away the father from these kids. And so she does, and she gets like way more evidence that, traps Betty in her lies, that shows that a true narcissist would never commit suicide because they would never hurt themselves. And also her time frames are off. So Betty's caught in a lie. And because of it, she is guilty and she is sent to prison. I think they say it was until 2010, but she has never been paroled. She is tried and never been paroled. So it's pretty much the court case, and just kind of seeing Betty unravel and also watching her just be the worst to like everybody. It was amazing. I loved it.
Yeah. I really liked it too. I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they went for it,
Me too.
It paid off. So, okay. So we open, again, another jazzy score, which we always appreciate. There is suspense happening immediately. And Betty wakes up from a nightmare. It's the beginning of, the murder sequence from the following film. I don't know if I noticed this the first time. She is sleeping in some extra large earrings. Like, ouch. I was like,
I didn't
you
notice
might, you're having nightmares because you're sleeping in hubcaps. That's not good for you. And I was just blown away by that. So I mean, and of course the, satin pajama, but so she gets out of bed and the gun is tucked in layers of satin. Did you see that? It's like just white layers of satin that the gun is just nestled in.
Oh, these are my kids' christening outfits.
Yeah. So she leaves her house in the middle of the night. And again, I mean, the house envy I have is, I'm house hunting now. I'm like, can you get me a Betty Broderick house? And the realtor's like, I don't know what that is. I mean, it's just a look.
Well, they should. I mean, they should know what that is. Come on.
I agree. I'm just like, what's the problem? I mean, her house is just beyond. So, so then it seems like she's like listlessly driving, but of course she ends up at Dan's house. I think this scene is exactly the same from the original movie. I haven't done a comparison, but I think it's the same, right?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Right. And then also I was sort of like, wait a minute, because why would somebody watch this if they hadn't seen the first one? But there was no streaming back then and no video on demand. So you could have missed the first one and been like, I'm never going to forgive myself. And then the sequel came out and you're like, I am not missing this.
If anyone out there has only seen the second one and never the first, please write in. You fascinate me because I don't know how you could only watch the second one and then not be like, oh, well, I immediately have to watch the beginning. Like,
correct.
You know,
in fact, pause this and go watch the first one and then come back.
For real though.
So so then her friend is waking up with very bright lipstick on, right? Like after the shooting, it's like the next morning.
Oh, like that
And
orangey kind of red. When it's like,
yeah, the coral
yeah.
lipstick. People are sleeping in their makeup, and it's not good for you. Don't do
No,
that.
it's not.
So, then it's like we're back, in that pre-granite world, right? It's like the tile countertops that we've talked about.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
those.
Yeah. Who cares about the grout? It's like, it's just a sweet,
Get
sweet,
some
shiny tile.
Tilex. You'll be
Yeah.
fine.
So then Dan's, very privileged friends go to his house to see.
Well,
Yeah.
well, she calls her eldest daughter and she's just
Yes.
like, I did it. And that whole scene like at the beach and you're just like,
Yeah.
what? And then I had to note like she calls upon like her bodyguard. Remember him? I forget him. Was that like her boyfriend on the side? Betty's boyfriend
Yeah.
on the side. Okay.
Yeah.
So her bodyguard, like the oldest daughter's like calling him and she's like probably like freaking mom killed dad, and they're just like, what?
Right.
So like, yeah, the bodyguard and like Dan's brother, right? Or their friend. I couldn't
Well,
place who it was.
his brother's flying in, so I think it's
Right,
two of his
okay.
friends.
Okay,
Yeah.
so but Betty's bodyguard was there, right?
I didn't recognize him,
Okay,
but
maybe
you
they
could
all
be
look
right.
the same. I don't know. But
they do, by the way.
they all
They
like
do.
that swoopy hair. And so yeah, they go in to like find out if it's true because I mean, she's saying it's true. So they like run over there and they like go in and like see it. And then I love when Betty calls her parents. I thought that was so telling after.
Yes. Yes. She's calling everybody. She's like spreading the word. And
Did she stop and get like a roll of quarters at like the bank before she did this? How did she have so many quarters for the payphone?
oh, yeah, she's using up those quarters big time. I mean, the whole payphone thing in general, like, what a pain. I mean, like, especially if you have like that kind of news, So then they call Larry, Dan's brother, and his sweater is just breathtaking
It is.
when he gets this call. And, then we see the bedroom again where Dan and Linda were murdered. They had a very small bed. I don't know if you noticed that. It's like
Oh, really?
a full. Yeah. I was like,
Ooh.
Interesting.
Tangled together.
Entangled. That's
forever.
right. And then the detective's like answering the phone like he owns the house. Like he's just like, yeah.
When the police get there, he's just like, it's like he's ordering pizza. He's like, hello. Like,
Right.
what? You would touch
Right.
things in the house? Like, that seems real bad policing. Like, you
Oh,
should,
yeah.
like, everything should be fingerprinted and, like, you'd be wearing gloves and, like, one of those, like, hazmat suits. But he's just like, yeah, hello. And they're
Yeah,
just
that
like,
scene is contaminated.
I
big
know.
time.
And then, okay, poor Larry and his commemorative plate because he's just
Oh.
like, I'm his brother and I need to know, if it's true. And he's like, I can't tell you that. He's like, no, you could be anybody off the street, buddy. And he's just like, it's like, well, you could be, but
Right.
he's just like, I mean, who's calling being like, hey, I'm his brother at the
Right.
house. Is he dead? Yeah, you could be any schmo. I don't know. So
Right.
like, he's just like, look underneath on the table. There's a plate. It's like an
It's like
Irish
an ugly plate.
It's so ugly. It's got like an Irish proverb, and then it's like "Love Larry" or something. And he's like, "I gave that to them." And it's like, yeah, you must be the brother. Only a brother would give his brother a commemorative plate. So he's like, yeah, they're dead. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah. And he was banking on them keeping that plate too. I mean, right? So that was risky and it paid off.
It really
So-
did.
Then there's like the house is just covered, like full and covered with like sad, just like white people. There's just like a ton of people walking around sad.
Yeah.
And his friends have to tell the two sons, right?
Yeah, like I keep thinking it was her bodyguard, but maybe that was the friend. Maybe I have those two mixed up.
think you
because I
want it
write
to
the
be.
bodyguard.
Real bad.
I do. But yeah, they like come in and like they go over to the kids. They're like playing soccer, like, I don't know, on some hill. And they're just like, you don't see them tell it, but like immediately you see like the older boy like fall to his knees and the
Yeah.
little boy like is like crying. And you're just like, oh gosh, this is awful.
Yeah, very, very sad.
Yeah.
And then Betty's like asking her daughters what to do.
Oh yeah. So she like calls her friend, she calls her eldest daughter admitting what happened. And then she called her parents, which I wanted to put in that scene only because she's like, "Hi dad, is mother there?" And I'm like, anyone that calls their mom mother, you know there's problems at the house because that's
Agreed.
weird. Nobody says
Agreed.
mother. And then
No.
she's just like, "I feel like killing myself." And they're just kind of like, "Betty, we're busy."
Yeah,
And
they're
she's
like,
"Okay." Yeah,
Yeah.
so I just thought that was interesting kind of into the life that Betty had. Like, I don't think she had a lot of support. It sounds like a bizarre house, but
right.
yeah, she's like sitting with her girls and they know what a weird situation to be in. If your mom admits and you know your dad was murdered and now she's like in your house and she's just like, "I'm really sorry if I ruined your day, girls." Like, it's just the most like off-putting comments you've ever heard. You're just like, "Ruined my day. Try my life." Like,
Right. Well, because she
what?
doesn't think she did anything wrong.
She thinks it's like she forgot the dry cleaning.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't like resonate with her that she just like took someone's life. Like, it's just, and that's the thing, it never has. She has always felt like this was like she's vindicated, like this is a totally normal and like the right thing to do.
Yes, she feels completely justified.
Yeah.
So, but it's interesting though, because her body, like your body doesn't lie. So like,
Right.
because she starts like throwing up.
Yes, because they're just like, "Mom, like you have to tell, like we'll go with you to the police." And
Yeah.
she's just like, yeah. And she just like, yeah, obviously all the adrenaline and all the just rush of everything that's happened. She starts like vomiting.
Yeah, and that bathroom had awful tile. That was like not, that was a bad bathroom for Betty. For sure.
Yeah, it was. And then I like how she's like, "Okay, we'll go, but I got to make a makeshift will." And she's just like, "Here's a check for $10,000. And like, I was like, "You got 16,000 a month in
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
child, like, in spouse, what am I looking for?
Alimony.
Alimony." Yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, "You only got 10 G's for," and she's like, "Split it up among the kids." I'm like, "There's like 4 of them. What are they going to do with that?"
Well, yeah. And her friend's helping her find a lawyer, which was this friend in the first movie or no?
Yeah, she's the one at the end that's like the only one that will
Okay.
like put up with Betty. Like, I wrote she's Betty's biatch because I don't know how else to put it. Like, she is just
Yeah.
like in Mean Girls, she's Gretchen Wieners. Like, she's
Yeah.
just like she's obsessed with her, like obsessed with
Right.
Betty.
And I was like thinking about it and I'm like, man, that's tough. Like, I would be like, what? You did what? Like,
I'd
like,
be scared.
yeah, like, I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know. Like, would you just stop talking to Betty? Like, I don't even know because she's so scary too.
Yeah, I think in that situation, they're just so needing their like queen bee that they don't care what they do. Like,
Yeah, they're
they'll
like
just be like,
codependent.
yeah, they're just so
Yeah.
codependent and they just see past everything because they want to. And they're just like, "Well, this is like my leader, so I'll follow
Right.
them." It's like a cult. It's weird.
It is. Also, there's a lot of ironing to be done at that house. There's like clothes piled everywhere. And it's just not good. So she turns herself in,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And there's a scene. Was there something crazy with glasses in this scene? Oh, yeah. Every cop has like a crazy pair of glasses on. Round, square, you name it. I was like, whoa.
They're
There's
like
some characters.
sponsored by Lens Crafters.
Yeah. I was like, whoa, we get it, you know? So she's like rocking the prison outfit. She's like strutting around. Like
Oh,
she's fine. And then did you hear the mention of Ninja Turtle socks and high tops?
Yeah, because I know, because so they have their lawyers lined up, and the prosecutor is that one woman who has 2 kids, like 2 little boys the same age as Betty's boys, about, and she's just like feels so much for these kids, obviously, because it's just like how devastating for them, and they're just like, "Can we get some of our stuff?" Oh wait, is this when she's talking to her own kids? This is when she's talking to her own kids. And she's like, get your Ninja Turtle socks together and put on your high tops. And like, that's when she finds out that Betty Broderick had killed her husband.
Right. And that actress is Judith Ivey, and I love her in Devil's Advocate. She plays the mom of Keanu Reeves. And then she was also in Designing Women and The Critic. And
whoa,
I mean, she's been in a lot, but like, I really like her. And yeah, that line just power, that was a power pack of 90s nostalgia. I was like, that warmed my heart a lot. And yeah, it's like her kids are being naughty. She's like trying to get out the door. And then, the news breaks and it's like, whoa. So
because Dan was a lawyer, so I'm sure like that kind of like, you know people in the business basically, and everyone's just like, what? Because he was a prominent lawyer.
Right. Well, my nostalgic sexism came out because I thought her husband was the lawyer, and so then when we see her driving, and I'm like, oh, she has like a tennis racket keychain. That's interesting. And then we're like, wait a minute, she's the lawyer. Like, what a reveal. I was like,
I think it was great, though, that they had a woman prosecutor because
absolutely.
I think in this situation, you needed one. Like,
I agree.
You needed somebody that could be like calling the bluff, where it's like, that's not how a mother would act. Sorry.
No. So then, Betty's kind of talking to anybody that'll listen, right? Like in terms of like press, and she's explaining how Dan basically took her entire life. Her hair is like a beautiful blonde. That's like a really pretty shade of blonde.
I thought the same thing too. I was like, Betty's hair is the best in prison. What is that about?
Yeah, it's looking good.
Agreed. Mm-hmm.
So then Larry, Dan's brother, finally makes it in. That man's head of hair, wow. Like, he is like really, really well endowed with hair. I was like, whoa.
He's got curls. It's nice.
Yeah, he's making an entrance. It's like, whoa. So they go to Dan's house, and the cop there has giant hand gestures. He's like, whoa, get out of this house, and he's like, it's my brother's house. And Larry, calls the lawyer because he needs like the boys' stuff.
Yes.
And again, with the payphones, I'm just like, this is so inconvenient.
Right. And and secondly, like, I can't believe they let like the prosecutor, like the lawyer, like her go in and get stuff. I'm like, this is like a crime scene. Like, I don't know. It was very unusual to me that she was unaccompanied by a policeman or anything like that. And she's just like going through the kids' stuff and like grabbing things. And like, did you notice the hamsters in the background? I'm like,
and the fish.
Them?
Yeah, I wrote, who's feeding them?
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, those things are dead. And like, it was just, it was so weird. And then she like grabs like the flip-flops, and she like thinks of her kids in the morning that she was like yelling at to like get their high tops on because they weren't flip-flops. And she's just like, oh, it was like, oh, all the connections. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like, it could have been me that shot my husband in his bed, like it could be anyone, like we're all connected. And I do think it's, like the whole crime scene thing is fascinating, especially in the 90s, because there was the whole, obviously, like O.J. Simpson trial.
Right.
And so many conspiracies about how that scene was like not handled correctly and tainted, and just like so many cases during that time where it's like, people were stepping all over it. Like people were coming in and out. People were like touching everything.
So like, is it only really recently, like in the last 30 years that crime scene investigations have like ramped up? Is it because, when did DNA, I guess that's true, because I don't think DNA, based on all my 48 hours watching, I don't think DNA was like really that like good until like the late 90s. Like, I don't think that came into play.
Yeah. I have a lot of like research on this. But all of that in terms of like DNA, digital forensics, like database integration, all of that was being developed like in the 90s, and it was considered niche. Right. So it was like, we'll try it out. Like kind of like, AI now. Like it was like, we'll see. But it's like, yeah, I mean, people are being locked up or not locked up based on,
Right.
this like
Yeah.
faulty evidence. So
Yeah. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's just fascinating because it's like, you know, I don't know. It's just, I can't believe it was like, we were like kids, basically almost like teenagers before like they had a lot of these things. It's just weird.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I have comparisons too, but everything just took way longer back then too,
Yeah.
because like we didn't have the internet in 1992, and this happened
Right.
before that. So
Yeah.
just wild. It's amazing that, anything got done, really. Right or wrong. So then the attorney is like questioning the kids like unchaperoned, which is also very strange.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
You would usually have a social worker or somebody like an advocate with them for sure.
Yeah. So that's not the right move. And the kids are like, yeah, I mean, it makes sense that she did this basically. Right.
Yeah. They're like, she talked about it all the time. It's like, oh,
Yeah. Like, yikes.
like they're not surprised at all. They're just like, yeah, we saw it coming because she told us every day that she was going to kill dad. Like,
Right.
I mean, they're sad, but they're not surprised.
Right, which is like terrible, obviously. So then Betty's like, I love my kids and, I don't trust any lawyers. And it's just this like ongoing process of her like, again, talking to anybody that'll listen, but like
Yeah.
she just can't really land anybody that she wants to represent her yet.
And nobody really wants to work with her. She's extremely difficult and she's very like demeaning. I mean, she's just like, you're not good at your job. You're stupid. Like, it's just like, whoa, like.
Yeah. They're like, you're the one that's in here,
I
like
know.
you made some poor choices, ma'am. So then they have Dan and Linda's funeral by a dirty lake. I was like, ooh.
You find all the great things in the movie. I miss everything. The dirty lake,
I mean, I'm just looking for what matters, So
the earrings. I just missed all of it.
the earrings were hard to miss. You might want to take another look. They were like, I was like, wow.
We should make an I Spy book of Betty Broderick.
Oh, yes. Let's do that. I love that. Okay, let's do that.
We'll work on that.
That's 2026 goals. So again, Larry's hair is looking great. And
Swoopy.
there's obviously remarks made and everybody's like, saying nice things about Dan and Linda. Linda's sister speaks. It's very sad.
Yeah.
And then they have their first, I think it's a pretrial, right? And the lawyer's like, let her out of jail. Like, it's not a big deal,
Yeah.
The judge
Shooting,
is like,
who cares?
this is serious stuff,
Yeah.
So the judge is like, I'm not letting her out. Sorry. And she talks to a reporter, a very polished reporter at that. And she says, what does she say? Like, oh, I should have welcome printed across my forehead.
Yeah.
She's such a beast.
I know.
Then she hires a PR firm and she's just like dishing, like she's giving them all the dirt, like dishing it out.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it was smart of her. Like, I mean, she's totally like acted in evil. Like, I mean, this is not good things to do, but she's also extremely like intelligent. Like she, which a lot of narcissists are. And she knows how to manipulate the situation, and hiring a PR firm was really, really smart because she could tell her side of things in the way that she wanted the story to be told. And it worked because she gained the, empathy of many women. I mean, lots of women sent cards to her and like praised her for what she did. And even men were like, I could understand where she was coming from. And, you hear later, like the radio DJ, that when they're talking about it is like, are you going to be nicer to your wife? You don't want a Betty on your hands. Like they joke about it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was like a celebrity kind of thing.
Yeah. It was a hot topic. And so she's just, saying like, it was right around Thanksgiving. She loves Thanksgiving. I'm like, I hear that, girl. Like, if somebody ruins my Thanksgiving, it's not okay. And she's like, Linda just stepped into my life completely.
Yeah.
And then the label is emotional terrorism. And, you know, they're going through like opening remarks, and it's like she worked, you know, through her pregnancies. Like,
Right.
you know, we start talking about how like she lost at least one baby,
Yeah.
and Dan missed that baby's death,
Yeah.
which is,
I mean, if that's true, that's really traumatic. I mean,
yeah,
that's horrible.
really bad.
Yeah. And it was like, I think it was like 2 days old when it passed.
Yeah.
I mean, that right there, like the trauma, the post trauma of that, like could be enough to just change somebody. Like, I just feel like there's just so many instances where it's like if she would have gotten help or, you know, gone to a therapist or something like that, would she have done the things she did? I don't know. It's interesting.
Well, yeah. I mean, it is enough to definitely shift everything. And, you know, like, I know we've both had loss, and, you know, it's like when I had failed pregnancies, like I like talked to my therapist, you know, like,
Yeah.
because they make a remark that's like a woman alone is a woman without a prayer. And that's the whole thing. It's like she was like completely alone.
Yeah.
And it didn't seem like she was, but I mean, she was like, she did not have anybody around her that could help or support her. It was her doing for everybody else.
Right.
And it wasn't normalized. Like, you didn't get help. Like,
Right.
you know, unless you were labeled as like mentally ill, you really didn't. And so, yeah, I just think that that's one of the layers that just really, like you said, changes somebody. And it's just something
Yeah.
that, like, who knows? Like, I do think she obviously is mentally ill, but it doesn't mean that you're going to automatically, you know, be a murderer. It just, you know, she
Right.
just didn't get help at all.
I think there's just a lot of compounded things that just like the relationship with her parents seems
Yeah.
odd. The loss of her child and being alone during that, if he truly was out like working, like, and didn't comfort her, like the fact that she did. I mean, it's, you know, they didn't deny the fact that she supported the family
Yeah.
completely while he pursued his dreams. And I mean, yeah, Betty is so multifaceted. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And also, you know, this film, I think, really, I don't know how fair of a portrayal it was.
Yeah.
But it definitely didn't victimize her, you know, but I think it was good that it included some of that history that we didn't see.
Yeah, it makes her less of like just a outright crazy villain where you're just
Right.
like, you're a psychopath and you always are going to be a psychopath. It's like, no, I mean, there was some goodness to her, you know, and there were things that she definitely, you know, she did for her family. And
Right.
it just, I think all around it was just a very toxic relationship, especially from the People magazine article that I read from last year. Like, and the kids talk about it. It was just a very, I don't think they should have been together. Like, that's what I think. I don't think that they were a good fit.
Right. Yeah. So then her lawyer says, you know, she suffered abuse of the most violent kind. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I mean, I know she told
Yeah.
everyone he like beat her and stuff, but like, I mean, I don't know. It's like, did he ever slap her? We don't know. You know, I have no
Right.
idea. But, you know, it definitely seems like it was just emotional, you know, neglect.
Well, that's my point. It's like I think it was just them, because there's times like in this interview where the kids were like, she thought by dropping us off at dad's and leaving us there that like it would make us want her more and like need her more, like prove that she was like the glue. But instead, Dan stood, like, he came to the game and like, you know, took care of the kids and they just did it on their own. But then there's like where they talk about how, you know, the two of them were throwing stereos at each other and
Right.
Dan would be on edge if the kids were too loud. And it's like, it doesn't sound like the kids were ever the problem. It just sounds like that marriage should have ended. Like, it just wasn't a good fit.
Well, yeah. I think that they probably weren't compatible. I mean, people also change as they age. Also, people that, you know, are so goal oriented, it's
Yeah.
like a lot of times like they reach their goals and they're not happy.
Right.
So, it's like it could be a myriad of things. Betty says, they went to the church for help, and then like Dan knew they had a problem, but his goals got in the way. It's like, I could see that. Like, there's a lot of people that are like, if I just reach this level, then I'm going to relax. Like, if I could just get here,
Right.
then we're set.
Then
and
we're
it's like,
set. Yeah.
that doesn't work. Like, it doesn't fill that. So basically, she says, basically that Dan forced her to do it. And the lawyer's like, I mean, no, like that's, that's not true. And then her spicy friend's like, everyone's talking about you, girl. Like you're the talk of the town, and you've altered female consciousness. And I don't know, her friend's just like a dame, she's just like in jewelry and just like all about town. And she is happy to be Betty's like ambassador,
Yeah, she's like, people love you and your case. She's like, you've altered female consciousness.
Right.
And like, you're just like, what does that even mean, first of all? But like, she's just like, people like, they think what you did was totally right. And like, you're just, I don't know, like elevating women and what we go through. And it's just like, I mean, yeah, but she murdered somebody.
Right. I mean, that's why it's so unfortunate, because it's like, yes, there are people that like do the majority of the silent labor.
Yeah.
And that's not fair. You know what I mean? But like, you can't kill people. I mean, it's
Right.
like, there's a happy medium.
Yeah. And that's when Dan's brother, like, he comments on it. He's like, what is going on here? She's seen as some sort of like feminist superhero. He's like, she's going to be canonized. Like, it's getting to a level of like, almost like people are like worshiping what she did and just thinking that she's just so like Mother Mary, perfect and like just this person to look up to. It's very bizarre.
Yeah, right. So the brother's not having it. He's like, this is completely like one-sided in the media.
Yeah.
And so her lawyer's talking to her, and she's basically like, shut up, like stop whining, and she's getting letters internationally, like from
women
all over.
Mm-hmm.
And people are just like, yes, we are about this. Like, we love you, Betty. And then she's, arguing, with a lot of the deputies.
Oh my gosh, she's so sassy with them.
Yeah.
She's just like, I don't need a wristband. He's like, buddy, you have to wear a wristband. Like, you're in jail. And she's like, no, I don't. Everybody knows who I am. Get your hands off me, you Nazi. Like, she's crazy.
Yeah. And then, the tension's building between Dan's brother and the lawyer. I'm like, is this sexual? Is it just frustration?
Wait, with the prosecutor?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh,
He's
really?
like, he's not happy with how it's going. And I was like, whoa, this is getting a little worked up. Take a break, guys. So then, the two younger boys are basically like, we're going into more of how they were like afraid of making their mom mad.
Yeah.
And, again, they knew that, their mom was going to kill their dad and Linda.
Yeah. They're like,
she said it.
Yeah. She's like, they're like, we wanted to live with Dad and Linda, but she said she was going to kill them, that she always had a gun. And what? Sorry, that's how he talks. That's
right.
But if you watch it, like, I do a pretty good impression of that.
Your impression game is strong, girl.
Thank you.
You know that.
I know. But what's interesting in this People magazine article from November 2025 is that the kids are really divided. Like, they've always been divided. Like, the eldest girl is like way on the father's side. And then some of the middle children are like, our dad was just as bad. So it's very interesting how all four kind of also experienced, or like what they went through, like where some children treated differently. Was Betty harder on her eldest? Like, was there a weird, like, like can't have two hens in the house? Like, were they battling more? And like, so it's just like, there's a division, even with the kids, I think, to this day.
Yeah. Yeah. It's terrible.
Yeah.
And also, to really think about it, it's like all of the kids like ranged in age. So it's like they all had a different experience.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Like the older daughter, could have remembered her dad, being more like interactive with her. And, the more kids you have, like the more stressful things are. If, you're working toward goals. I mean, so by the last one, it was probably like,
Yeah.
where's my dad? Like, you know.
Well, right. Because, the oldest daughter was there when they didn't have much and things like that. Like, you know, their experience is going to be different where like the youngest is born into wealth and it's just like we're going on vacations and life is great. And, you know, because like even in the oldest daughter says in this interview, she's like, my dad would come around to my window all the time and like whisper Kim for me to open up the door because my mom locked him out constantly. So it's just like she's doing a lot more things and seeing way more and is more clued into the toxicity of this marriage than the younger ones. And maybe the dad and her were just closer. It's just interesting how everybody's take is like, well, the dad was abusive. And then some are like, he was never abusive. So it's like, what is going on?
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very dysfunctional. So then one of the sons said, you know, that Betty had a gun and she almost was going to shoot Dan when he picked them up one time.
Yeah.
And the kid like is blaming himself, which is like so sad.
I know. He's like, I should have stopped her. I should have taken it away. And it's like, no, absolutely not.
You can't take away a gun from a grown up. Like that's not your job, you know? Yeah. And the lawyer has like a crazy knit vest on with a brooch.
Ooh.
And yeah, it was like dress up day at the office. And
the prosecutor, the woman.
Oh yeah, sorry, the prosecutor. Okay. And she's like, I can't have these boys testify. Like, they're human. Right. Like, I care about kids. Like, I'm a human. Like, I can't do it, you know?
Yeah. She's like, I'm not going to torture them on the stand. They've been through enough. And it's like, true. But that's interesting. That was really kind of selfless of her because a lot of things those kids were saying probably would have done a lot of damage and not led to the mistrial, I think. Because if the jury would have heard her kids being like, yeah, she like said she was going to kill dad many times and showed us the gun, they probably be like, Betty, you're going to jail. But
right.
They didn't, you know, she didn't want them to go through that. So,
yeah. So then Betty's friend, you know, is helping her. She's like her stylist basically. And, you know, Betty just cracks her up. Like Betty's just hilarious. And
yeah, she like loves Betty. Like she's just like, girl, you're gonna get out of here and we're gonna like go to Tampa. Like this is the best ever.
Yeah. And Betty's like, these dumbass deputies like aren't potty trained.
Okay, so Betty is hilarious. I will say, like, some of the things she says are like so snarky. It's just amazing.
It's so good. And then I love the scene. She's like completely dressed to the nines on that prison bus. And everybody else is in their jumpsuits.
Yeah. She was stylish. She had like a Martha Stewartness to her, you know, like it's just like she's always put together. She always is like kind of like she showed her wealth, you know, like she was like she wore Chanel earrings, you know, I noticed that like when she was on the stand, like she always was like displaying like I'm better than you. Like I have more than you.
Right. So then you know, she passes a park. There's like a bunch of kids playing. I have no idea what game I don't know what they're doing, but
the mom at that park is really into it. I'm like, really? Would she be doing that? No, she'd be sitting there with her, like putting straws in a Capri Sun. Like, there's no way.
That's true. Although, you know, there were no smartphones, so she might have been playing with them. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, I was like, she's really having a good time.
She's having a great time.
And then Betty has a huge legal team. Like, there's a lot of theatrics in that courtroom. Like, there's displays, there's like, you know, posters, there's like screens. I mean, it's like a big deal. So yeah, they're in court. Betty's dressed, you know, like a first lady. But that's a good thing because this jury is very privileged and white. I mean, they are. Honestly, I'm like, this film is like very, very Caucasian. And so
it's like click the box. It's like, what race are you? Betty Broderick story, Caucasian.
Right. It's like, okay, we get it. So then, we learned she had like 9 horrible pregnancies and 4 live births. Oh, and I was like, okay. I mean, it's like she lost herself completely. Like, that is horrible. Horrible.
Yeah. And they say like, you know, she lost everything. She lost her identity. And Linda and Dan called her fat and like the beast and was just like totally demeaning her and making fun of her all the time to the kids.
The jury's like, hell no, you know? Then her lawyer's like, look at her, like, look at the transformation. It's like an in color, you know, glamour shot. And then it's like her black and white mugshot. You know?
Look who she was and look what she became because of Dan. Yeah.
Right. And then her ex-friend, who was in the first film, was like, oh, Betty, you know, worships money. Like, she's very materialistic.
Yes.
And she has catalogs from back east. And I'm like, oh, it was such a better time. Like, the whole catalog thing. Do you remember the Spiegel infomercial?
Oh, my gosh. Yes. I lived by a Spiegel's when I was a kid. Like, everything, I remember sitting down with my grandma at Christmas and going through Sears and Montgomery Ward and like picking out like my outfits. And even then I was kind of like, why can't we just go to the store? But it was fun. Or like the American Girl catalog. Okay, that I could get on board with. Or Delia's, like picking out the clothes and then being like ordering them and you had to fill out the order sheet. It was just like, and you had to wait like 7 weeks. But there was just like excitement. It was like something to do. And I don't know. It was in some ways just kind of more fun than it is now.
I know. Now it's like, click this. And you're like, wait, what did I just buy? Like, did I just buy that?
Like, if it's like, sorry, it'll be here in 2 days. You're like, what the F? Does anyone do anything anymore? Like, oh my gosh. I'm like, well, ma'am, there is a snowstorm across the entire continental U.S., but yes, your gloves will arrive in 2 days. It's like, oh my gosh, why do I pay for Amazon Prime? Like, I say that every time.
Yeah, it's not good. We're in a bad state is what I'm saying. Yeah. So her real friend is like, she's the best mother. Like, she has a lot of energy.
Oh, the Gretchen Wieners? Yeah. She's like, she's great. She barely had furniture in her $650,000 house, which in 1989, what, that's millions. I mean.
Yeah, let's look. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just like this friend is unhinged. So, but again, that's like her only friend. Yeah. So it's not like other people were like, yeah, totally, Betty.
Betty's great.
It's like just that one. Yeah, so that's 1.7 million. Now,
well, I don't know, man. It would be hard to furnish a $1.7 million house by yourself. I mean, that's a lot of rooms. I don't know.
So she's still getting an outpouring of love. She's getting a lot of cards in prison and like chocolates. And then, like you said, that man is like defending her on the radio.
He's like,
I was like, wow.
I know. He's like, I understand. They're like, oh, you better be nice to your wife or she's going to murder you. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I was kind of like, is that, I don't know. It'd be interesting. Like, I'm like, is that guy back then, like, is he considered MAGA? Because it's like he doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
But he
like,
defended the woman, so right away, no, because I don't think MAGA would ever go for a woman. Like, they're just like, you're a piece of property. Goodbye.
Well, that's true. You're right. I was just thinking, like, is up down? You know what I mean? Like, is black white? Like, just that kind of brain. I don't know.
No, I feel like he would almost be like more feminist because he'd just be like, I get why she did it. Like, her husband was terrible to her, you know, and just kind of like, where, no. But I get what you're saying, like, because everything MAGA is like totally on the opposite side of right. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Okay. So then her daughter testifies and she's like, yeah, I mean, like, I know, my mom took my keys. And
because they're trying to figure out like how Betty got into the house. Because like, I guess because I said in the first like part of this movie, like in our last episode, I was like, how did she get in the house without like a security system? You know what I mean? Like at this point he had like bodyguards and things going on. So that is how she got in without making noise, without causing trouble, is she stole her daughter's front door keys. And her eldest daughter, Kim, was like, we were told to guard those keys like with our lives. Like our dad said, like, you have to never, ever lose these keys, because he knew if she had a way to enter the house, he obviously was afraid she'd do something.
Right. And she would. And she did.
She did.
She did. So then the prosecutor's like, look at all the money he gave you and like, look how you spent it. And Betty's like, yeah, I mean, I shop everywhere. And she's like, so? And the prosecutor's like, you were getting all this money and jacking up his house at the same time. Like he paid all your bills and you were vandalizing his property. And Betty's like, yeah.
She's
I
like,
was.
so what's the problem? Like,
right. She's like, that's accurate. Oh my gosh. My favorite Betty outfit was the seafoam green and like periwinkle satin blouse.
yeah.
And like these brushed silver earrings. I was like, I would like that. I am going to take a screenshot and put it in like Google Shopping and find that. I want that.
I mean,
now.
I bet like, is Saks Fifth Avenue even around anymore?
It is. I mean, there's an off Saks, which is pretty decent.
Yeah. I feel like it'd be like at Saks.
and like
you know what I mean? Like that's where she got it from. Like totally.
That's a good tip. That's a good tip. I was like, I am obsessed with this look.
You know, you should make a Pinterest board or whatever, a vision board of it, and then we should go like thrifting and see if we can find it.
Yeah. Please.
I'm like, I got bed
really
bugs,
liked
but
it.
we look like Betty.
We look top tier. Let's go get steroid shots, you know? So then they talk about the Europe trip, you know, that Dan took his business colleague on.
Oh, yeah, to Paris. The one that she was all mad about because, like, he didn't ask her first. She's like, I have a manicure that day. It's like, I'm going to go to Paris.
Right. Yeah, you can get a pair. I'm sure you can get one there. So then she says, you know, one day they were just on their way to a wedding and Dan said he just wasn't happy with anything and that it was her fault because she was like old and fat and boring and ugly and stupid and no fun.
Yeah, basically.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And if she was mean to him all the time, I mean, he probably did say that.
Well, that's what I mean. I just feel like it was just a very toxic relationship. I think it was just very volatile. I don't think that either of them was like a perfect angel and that they just like they brought out the worst in each other. And she was definitely a narcissist when they met, but maybe a narcissist with maybe she didn't meet all 9 of the criterion before she murdered him, you know, like maybe it just built up more and more and more. And, you know, he sounds like he was a very like workaholic, wealth obsessed person himself. I don't think he was like out there being like, well, we'll live within our means. I think he loved wealth. I think he loved money. I think he probably placed it above his family a lot of the time. I don't think he was like Mr. Perfect, you know? I just think it was just both had faults. She just needed to not kill people.
Well, and I think it's like, I don't know. I feel like still to this day, I mean, there's probably a lot of people. It's like they want their spouse to be successful. Yeah. They want like a certain lifestyle, but they also want like unconditional attention and love. And it's like, people can only do so much. I mean, it's like there's only like so many hours. There's only so much energy. And it sounds like their priority was to be very successful. Right. And, you know, there wasn't room.
Right. That's what I think they equated love. Like, because she said, oh, well, that's when the furs came, you know, when he started making money. That's when the furs came. That's when the gifts started pouring in, you know, and like he lavished her with gifts because that was her love language. She liked material things. He liked material things. It was just toxic relationship.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So, she's like, I lost weight. You know, I grew out my hair. I got my like wrinkles fixed. I fixed my tooth. Like I tried to be perfect. And the jury's just like, heartbroken. Like, they're just like, they're like, what?
She fixed her chipped tooth for that man. He deserved to die. Yeah, like, they're like, Betty, we love you. Like, you're not going to jail, girl.
Yeah. I mean, and it's interesting too, because I don't know. I mean, even like the even status back then, it's like if it was like a poor family and like the woman did that, like I think that she would not have what Betty, you know, got from that jury.
Absolutely not. No. You know, like especially like a poor like woman of color or something. There's no way. I'm sorry, baby.
No way.
Like goodbye.
No.
It wouldn't even gone to trial. Like,
Yeah.
it just would have been like, you're in jail, you know?
Right.
It just,
Right.
absolutely. Wealth definitely came into play. It was like a celebrity thing. It was just, yeah, for sure. I agree with
Yeah.
you.
So then she's like complaining because the deputy, you know, was like looking through her room. It's just not going well there. Like, she's just not doing well with the restrictions of the prison. And she's making it difficult for all of them. So then they decide that they can't decide on the jury and there's a mistrial.
Yeah, but I like before that scene, the prosecutor, the woman, the lawyer, she's like in her office. And did you notice the poster? She had great posters, by the way. Like, I loved her posters. And it was like a picture of like a casket with like flowers. And it's like he beat her 150 times, but she only got flowers once. And you can see her like looking at that and being like, that is like important to note, because it's like that's what makes her come back for the second trial. Like, she thinks about the actual women who have like suffered at the hands of like an abuser, you know what I mean? And
Right.
Betty, maybe she did get slapped, who knows, but she did not live a life of like, you know, these other women who first of all had nothing and then were, you know, abused so much. She was spoiled rotten and not a good person.
Yeah.
And was just as toxic, if not probably more abusive than Dan. I definitely can venture to say she was more abusive than Dan in any way. Maybe he did some stuff out of anger, but she probably did it consistently.
Absolutely. Like, yeah. I mean, it's pretty clear she was like relentless.
Yeah, she was relentless.
And it's also like, if she didn't start that, would he have ever started that? Probably
Right.
not.
And if he
know?
and he might have like maybe the marriage would have continued longer, or maybe if she would have dropped everything and been like, I'm fine with the alimony, I'm fine with half custody.
Yeah.
You live your life, I live mine. They'd all still be alive and they'd all be fine. She just could not let certain things go where like maybe he did bad things in the marriage, but he was willing to be like, let's shake hands, let's move on. Like, we're done here.
Right. I agree. Again, the jurors' glasses are out of control. Like,
Lens crafters.
Okay, lens crafters. Okay, then Betty's house is banging. It's like a kid and play house. Like, it's like, wow, this is a sign of the times, you know? And the prosecutor's like, oh my gosh, like, he got shot in bed and I didn't win. Yikes. You know, like, this is like not good.
Kind of. Wouldn't you feel that way? It's like, holy moly,
Yeah.
like, this is 2 murders that she like completely says she did. Like, she's not saying she didn't and then I didn't win. Like,
I feel like that's how like Hillary Clinton felt when she didn't win. Yeah. Right? Like, she's like, seriously? And it's like, yeah, no, you didn't. And it's like, how? You know? And it's like, yeah, no, you didn't. So then, yeah, actually a man was the holdout in terms of the jury making a decision.
Oh.
And yeah, and the media was like interviewing him and he's like, I don't know, what took her so long to shoot Dan? And it's like, yikes, you know? That's not the right attitude. So then, yes, the prosecutor's like, you know, I don't want to age more and have my kids age more working on this case. Like, it's going to be another year of hell. Right. And then the deputy is like telling Betty to like, you know, put her hands in her pants. And she's like, no, like, it's a huge confrontation.
he's like, put your hands on your waistband. She's like, no, I'm not doing that. I don't have to do anything. And he's just like, that's protocol, Betty. And she's like, I don't think so. Like, she's unhinged.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's not, I mean, again, she didn't think she'd be there much longer, you know? And yeah. So then her one and only friend is in a stunning yellow suit, and she does have a Chanel pin, and they did not make Chanel knockoffs back then.
Oh,
so that's the real deal.
Whoa.
That's like the real deal.
Dang.
Yeah, stunning. So she's like, Benny, you know, stands up for women.
She's courageous.
And
yeah,
it's like 2020, People Magazine. Everyone's just like, we can't get enough. You know, we just love this. So then her friend is like, yeah, it's just, it's prairie justice.
Yeah.
Like, it's extreme, but that's what it is.
Sorry, the next Dan Broderick will think twice. Like she says that.
Yeah. I was like, oof, okay. That's a warning. Oh my gosh. Then they're like dry cleaning comforters, a throwback. Like, could you imagine having a comforter that you were like taking to the dry cleaners all the time?
No. I had one as a kid that was like all down feathers. And like,
oh my gosh,
first of all, why did I have that? Like, if you throw up on it, like it's over, and it's just like, those are not cheap. And also they're like, you're so freaking hot. You like sweat.
I know.
But yeah, like the only way to clean it was to take it to the dry cleaner. So weird.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's what they did back then. So, so then, yes, the prosecutor's like, look, I have to, protect women, like, and I have to look out for women that really have problems. Right. And so I'm going to have to like do this, I guess.
Yeah. Because it's like, she's a fraud and the women that I represent are not. And if I don't put her away, what kind of precedent am I setting? Like this woman is a fraud. She's a liar. She killed in cold blood and I have to do this. Like my conscience won't let me rest. So she's back at it. And her husband is like, yeah, okay. Like he's so nice.
Right. He is. I'm like, what does he even
I don't
do?
know.
Like,
he's so relaxed. He's just like, okay, great, baby. Like,
yeah.
It's like,
yeah,
this guy's great.
He could be a stay-at-home dad. We don't know. They don't tell us.
Yeah.
They don't tell us. So then this reporter's like, why do you think people are applauding you? Like, do you think it's like women's right? And Betty's like, I'm not a feminist, like at all. Like, and I was like, okay, Betty.
She's
I'm
like,
she's
like, I just want to be a housewife. That's all I want to be.
Yeah, she's like, I liked what I had and now it's gone. So, I was massacred. Like, that's why I did it. Like, it has nothing to do with like women's rights. And it's like, okay.
Buddy, the one platform you could have been like, like, yeah, I'm trying to help this.
Right.
Through this brutal thing I did. She was like, no, it's about what I wanted. I just wanted a house and to have a maid and do all my things. Like, she just wanted to like hang out at home and spend money. That's what she wanted to do.
Exactly. And like, yeah, I mean, it's like feminism is human rights. It's not anything other than that.
Right.
But she's like, no, I don't care about that. So that's it. So yeah, I mean, it's sad that like women having these kind of feelings, that's only taken into account when a tragedy happens like this, like on both sides. I mean, that's like kind of like, not good.
Yeah.
So then there's the option for a 20-year plea bargain for Betty.
Yeah.
And it would be voluntary manslaughter. And, she could be out in 10 years. And basically the prosecutor's like, we're like telling the world that murder, isn't like the world that it's murder and that's okay. And that's really like scary to me.
Yeah. If she only gets 10 years for doing something that was so cold-blooded and, then yeah, what are we saying here? Like it's justifying something horrible.
And then they're like, yeah, but she could like walk now potentially, which is also scary.
Right.
And she's like, yeah, well, we're going to go to court. And then it's the scene with like Betty, with those other inmates.
Oh man, jail's really starting to get to Betty. Betty is like, she's getting mad because like they won't let her like do her like touch-ups for her hair, like in like the infirmary. Like they're like, that's for sick people. You're not going there to do your friggin' hair, Betty. And she's like, what? They always let me go. Like, and it's in her defense, they must have because her hair looks great. But she's just like,
it does.
Yeah. And then they're just like, okay, Betty, like you messed up again. You're going to solitary confinement. Like we told you, if you didn't follow these like rules, like that's consequences. And she's like, psh, I ain't going. First of all, she has no socks or shoes on. Now, I know you're living there. Like, okay, but like,
yeah.
I just can't imagine ever taking my socks and shoes off at jail.
No.
At the very least having your socks on, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there's got to be bugs and stuff. It's probably not the cleanest place. I don't know what, it's just like, oh my gosh.
No way.
Yeah. So she's like, I'm not going. And they're like, oh yeah, you are. And so they're like, let's go get Betty. And you see them like 8 or 9 people and they videotape all of it, which is like.
They videotape it. And all the inmates like love it. But before that, that saucy inmate tells Betty to lose weight and like shoves her off the bench, like, which was like, oof. And yeah, so they videotape it. The kids see it, which is like, oh my god.
Because don't they put it like on basically like hard copy? Like, remember that show? Like, it's just like, pew, boom. It's like, why is this being released?
Right. Yeah. So then, you know, we cut to lunch. There's some really nice restaurants that people have lunch in these movies. I was like, that's a beautiful restaurant.
They're like by like the marina. They're just like, yeah. I'm like, oh. Looks like they have like a really nice like upscale chicken salad like sandwich, but it's like, you know, really nice looking. Like you're just like, oh, this looks good.
Yeah, just beautiful. Yeah. So then the daughter feels guilty for testifying, and she wonders if she's on like Betty's hit list, which is like, oh my god.
Yeah, because Betty's just like, she told me I was a marked woman. So when am I on my mom's hit list? I was like, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, I mean, we don't know, but it's a good guess, you know? So, you know, then the lawyer's like, well, maybe she can move on, you know, and get help. Like maybe she'll be able to get help in prison.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's really affecting the daughter because it's just like they all feel like they're living in a fishbowl, like there's no privacy. Yeah. So then we go back to trial, and Betty's lawyer smashes the glass portrait to show how Dan shattered their dreams. I was like, wow.
Yeah, there's like a picture of them, like, and I was like, nice picture frame. And they're all like, he's just like, whoosh. That's what they did. And I love how the prosecutor's like, that worked the first time. So this is like the second time he's had this prop. He's like, this is my best. This is what I've got.
Yep. It was effective for sure.
He smashed the picture frame. She must be innocent. There's no way.
Yeah. And then it's like just a bunch of like, you know, the daughter's like, my dad loved us. And like, then, you know, it's like that famous tape of Betty on the answering machine. It's like so nasty.
Oh yeah. With her son that's like, Mom, please stop saying those things. You make me feel funny. And she's just like, well, who's telling you this? You're a traitor. What? Like everyone's a traitor. That's the thing with Betty. Like that's a narcissist. Yeah. Like if you're not for her, then you're a traitor. And like, because she can never be wrong. You know, like she's completely in her mind. Like I'm always right. Like I always do the right thing. And if someone's against me, then they're my enemy. And her life is all about self preservation, which is a narcissist. Like they just only care about themselves.
Yeah, it's like a bad look. It also makes me wonder, like, you know, I don't know, like everything you ever say, like I always wonder like if something's like being recorded. Like, you know, in documentaries when they have like all this stuff and you're like, how did they get that? Like, how did they? And it's just like people record stuff like all the time.
Yeah, well, they were on the answering machine, which is why it was recorded. But that's true, you know. Well, don't you think we're always being recorded? Because I was talking about two things on the phone, like randomly. Like one was like those like Earth's diamonds or whatever, like those fake ones. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I really like those, blah, 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 blah. And then another one was like something random, like, I don't know, some sort of like Swiffer thing. And in my Pinterest feed, I got like commercials for both of those things.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. I mean, our devices are always recording us. But I mean, like your friends and family. Like when I watch a documentary,
I'm like, what do you mean?
A phone.
Hold on.
Yeah, like seriously, I'm like, oh my gosh, like they recorded that? Okay. I just think it's like,
I mean,
wild.
If you're like threatening to kill someone though, again and again and again, like I might start recording you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So Betty loses it after that. And then the daughter is like testifying and she's like, I don't like remember saying anything that you're saying I said. And like, it's just like, you know, he catches the daughter and like, she's like crying.
Yeah. He's trying to like show that she's like, he's like, well, you said this in the first trial. And she's like, I maybe I did, but I don't remember saying that. Like she's trying to be very, very honest. And he's just like, you don't remember? So you're not credible. Like he's just trying to show that she's not credible, that the thing she said against Betty, you know, isn't true. And she was just saying it to say it. And, you know, Betty's just like, yeah, stick it to you. Like she like
Right.
thinks it's great.
Yeah. So then it's like, basically they're like, Betty is narcissistic, but she's not mentally ill. So he describes
Yeah.
everything that happened in the first movie that we saw. And
Right. But that was an important point, because then when the prosecutor brings forth the evidence that they didn't have in the first trial from the psychiatrist, and it's like, no, she's not crazy. She's not insane. She's very sane. She's a narcissist, though. She has a personality disorder. And I think that's important, because I think that at times Betty tried to use temporary insanity to her advantage. Like, I just blanked out. I went insane. Like she says that a few times. And it's like, no, you are proven to not be insane. You're proven to be very sane, very intelligent, and aware of what you're doing. But they're like, she just, there's like 5, like I said before, there's 5 out of 9 things you have to like fit to be termed a narcissist. And she has 9 out of 9. Like she will, exploit her own children, and did, for her own gain. Like she's, you know, this is not somebody who lost their marbles and did a bad thing. This was calculated in the moment.
Yeah.
And that also that she was too narcissistic to kill herself, because a true narcissist would never commit suicide. So all her threats where she was like, I was going over there because I wanted to talk to him so I could kill myself in front of him. And they're like, no, because a true narcissist would never kill themselves. So it just was discrediting all the things that she was lying about, which was great.
It was so good. And then, back in prison, she's like, I need to go to the infirmary. And they're like, no, you're not doing any of that anymore. So sorry. And then back in court, it's like she's like, I didn't get custody because I didn't have anything.
Yeah.
And they're like, yes, you did. You had quite a bit. You had a lot.
For your $650,000 house, your $16,000 a month in alimony and child support. He paid all of your bills. He paid for your shopping. He paid for your lunches. You had credit cards in his name, and he paid them off. I mean, what kind of divorce is that?
Right. Then they enlarged the letter.
I loved it. It was like 10 feet tall. I'm like, how much did that piece of evidence cost to get made? Like at Kinko's, was she like, I'm throwing the whole budget into this letter. Like, just make it big.
Yep. And the letter, was basically Dan offering custody of the boys.
Yeah. He was just like, you can have them, which is so weird, but okay. So it's like she never really wanted custody of the kids, like she just wanted that to manipulate so she could get what she thinks she deserved. And that's what it is. She just exploited her own children. I'm not saying she didn't love them, because I think she did in the way that she only knew how. Like, I think she loved her kids, because it's not like she didn't feed them. But it was like, if they got in the way of her materialism or her status or anything, she was so willing to throw them under a bus. It was like, don't get in my way and you'll be fine. That's how she played,
Absolutely. So she's like, all I had was was my mouth as a weapon. And it's like, but you had a weapon too. So that's not true. And then the lawyer's like, you were so over the edge and drove to his house to kill yourself in front of him. And then she's insisting, again, that she was just going to talk to him.
To confront him. That's what she said.
Right. And she was going to hold him at gunpoint and talk to him. And, the prosecutor's like, you weren't going to kill yourself.
Right.
And she said, you said you heard Linda say, call the police. And again, I was just like, I want Betty's clothes. I just really love her wardrobe. I can't help myself. So then Betty's breaking down. She's like, it happened so fast, and
and then she's just like, well, why didn't you kill yourself? She's like, I didn't have enough bullets left.
Yeah.
And she's like, you're right. Because 5 of them landed in Dan and 2 of them in Linda. And she's just like, it's like, you can't accidentally pull the trigger 5 times. Like,
Right. That's excessive, Betty. Then, it's like, she's like, you pulled the phone out of the wall because you thought Dan might call the police, and you smashed his hand. But, you told the reporter there was no pain or blood.
Right. No, he suffered. He was alive. He probably was alive for a couple minutes, like it was not just bing to the head and he's out. Yeah, no.
And the prosecutor's just like, you took his life, B.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Like, this was cold-blooded.
That's what happened.
This was not a suicide attempt. Like, you were pissed.
Right. And then she's like, you said it was dark, but how could you tell there was no blood?
Right.
And then the jury's like, oh,
Okay. So, so the jury's probably like took off their glasses and they're just like, dun, dun, dun. Like, what? Yeah. It finally dawns on them that Cheese needs to go to jail.
Yeah. They're like, okay, this has been like 2.5 years now. And we're convinced that she did shoot him in his bed. I mean, okay. So, there's a lot of different reactions in court.
Yeah.
They do find her guilty.
Yes.
And then Linda's sister reads an impact statement. Because she's like, Dan and Linda like need to be defended. Idiots. Like,
yeah, like, I'm not gonna let them sour their names and point them as like these awful people that were like horrible to her. Like, they were good and they loved their kids and stuff. I mean, like I said, I don't think anyone in this situation was like perfect. I don't think Dan and Linda, I'm sure they probably did call her fat and stuff. I don't think, because they were angry and it was just like sparring between them. But I really do think that if Betty would have just been like, you know what, let's settle this and be done with each other.
Yeah.
They'd all be alive.
I agree. So she gets consecutive terms, which started out as like 15 years to life. And she was eligible in parole for 2011, but she's not out. She's not out.
She's tried then, and then she tried in 2017, I believe. And her next eligibility, I think, is 2034, where she'll be 84 years old. But they just say that she shows absolutely zero remorse. She smirks during her parole hearings. She is disrespectful and just is kind of like, the judge basically says, like, Betty, you are the same person and are living the same way and in the same mindset as 30 years ago. You are a threat to society. There's no saying, like, I mean, would she go out and kill her daughter? I don't know. We can't take that chance. So it's just kind of like, will she get out when she's 84? Maybe. I don't know. But
yeah, probably not. I mean, she doesn't care.
I mean, yeah, at that point. But what's interesting is, so this I got my articles from People magazine, okay? But
okay, girl.
Yes, as I told you, I told Steph, she actually wrote a memoir, which is called Telling on Myself, which I absolutely love that title. I thought that was like, I do. I was like, that's pretty good. But she kind of, so Betty and Dan's daughter Lee took the stand. So this is kind of like some of the differing opinions that I just thought was kind of interesting. Is their daughter Lee took the stand. She said, alleging that her father often spoke disparagingly about her mother and had moods where he would break things that would frustrate him. Now, break things, though. Nothing talks about him throwing those things at him. And Lee also said nobody would want to disobey him or make him mad when he was home from work. But they don't talk about like abuse. Betty's housekeeper took the stand, I guess. And she said the two youngest children were happy around their mother, but were frightened and silent around their father, who claimed that he wouldn't let them jump or play, and that they didn't want to go home to their father after spending time with Betty. But that to me just shows somebody who's stressed and probably like, I've got work to do and I'm also stressed out by everything. There's no talking about like, oh, he hit us. And, he wailed mom, he hit mom a bunch. But the kids do say that they would see their mom like throw stereos at Dan. Which, in the 80s and 90s, those stereos were freaking big. I mean, that could kill somebody.
Those are whoppers.
Yeah. And she would lock them out all the time and talk about how she was going to kill him. So I don't know. The more you read, you're kind of like, was she physically abused? I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think, like you said, I mean, and that's the thing too. Like, okay, yeah, there was a murder, so all this is on trial now. You have to remember, I mean, like, living with kids is stressful.
Right.
It's not, like, it's not this, like, easy thing where it's just like, oh, somebody goes to work, somebody stays home, everything's smooth.
Right.
Like, it's not like that. They had 4 kids.
Yeah. All different ages.
All different ages. They had huge bills. I mean, so yeah, he probably did fly off the handle sometimes. He probably did yell.
Yeah,
he probably did slam a door.
Yeah, or
Right.
like broke something in his hands because he just didn't know how else to get out the anger, the frustration.
Right.
But that doesn't mean he's hitting people or like
No.
And what's interesting is that in 2010, when she tried to parole, that same daughter, Lee, had asked for Betty to come live with her. And her brother, Danny, said his mother was hung up on justifying what she did and releasing her could be a dangerous mistake. So there's definitely like the kids are divided. It's so interesting how their experiences are different. Do you know what I mean? Like, and how they like see things. I don't know.
Right. No, absolutely. And it's terrible because it's like now they're all each other has.
Right.
And, it's like fried, it's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
So were there any other family notes you wanted to make? I have some like, 90s versus now in terms of like crime and, forensics and all of that comparisons.
No, that was just that's all that I found. And I just thought it was really interesting. Just how the families even split on a lot of things. And
it's so sad.
It is. It's really sad because it's like, are the siblings connected to each other? Do they not talk to one another because some had, think that the mom was totally unjustified and some are like, I kind of see why mom did it. Like, it's just kind of interesting how that played out.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically the rest of it is also just the judge saying she was completely unrepentant and that they don't see any reason to ever let her back into society. So we'll see what happens, Bets. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like she's going to back down.
No. I think Betty might carry this, like, unless she has like a total crazy come to Jesus, like change of heart. I don't see her changing her thoughts.
No. And it's just like so fascinating. I mean, people are clearly like obsessed still with her story.
It's interesting because there's just it's so multifaceted and it's just there's so much like intelligence. Like it's just like that's why I want to read her memoir because she is so interesting as a person.
Yeah. I agree. I want to read it too. I am going to check it out of the library unless it's on hold. Annoying.
Beat you there.
So yeah, just a few things to note. So yeah, in the 90s, all the evidence took like weeks or months to process. And, now it's like pretty rapid and there's the automated fingerprint system as well. So you could like really identify somebody at a scene like immediately. Also there in the 90s, it was just introduced. It was like early CompStat models and crime mapping. And so now it's all like AI driven with like predictive policing, which uses big data and social listening to anticipate crime before it happens, which is like, ooh, that's
Wait, what? Explain that again. My brain turned off. What are they doing with AI?
So it's like, I think it's like what we're talking about, like how we're like always being recorded, basically. But if that was the case then, like it probably wouldn't have happened because they would have been like, oh, Betty said again she's going to murder them. So we're going to like pick her up before she could murder them.
They're starting to use like AI to pick up like phrases when they're looking into a case or when they're investigating somebody.
Well, it's more to anticipate something before it happens. So it's like if they hear somebody mention that they're going to like, I don't know, pick up drugs or something, then they're going to approach that person before they're able to do that.
Is that when they're investigating somebody or is this any schmo that they're like, oh, we heard it this many times.
It's like, it sounds like it's anybody, which is like really scary. Yeah. I mean, that's like
I'm getting
not
a landline, not because I pick up drugs. I don't. But like, that's just freaking weird.
Yeah, I agree.
What? No, what?
I
like,
think it's
people
creepy.
say weird stuff all the time. What if you're writing a novel about it? What if you're just like, you know, I don't know. I don't like that. That's really creepy.
Yeah, it's very invasive.
Yeah. I'm seriously getting a landline. Like, I'm not.
I want a landline too.
Yeah, I think they need to come back.
Yeah, I would love to bring it
So
back.
people
Let's
can
do
commit
it.
their crimes.
Yeah, leave everyone alone.
Yeah, just let them do what they want.
Also, now just in terms of like surveillance, there was surveillance in the 90s, but now it's just like there's like obviously high def like public cameras.
Everybody videotapes everything. I mean, like,
Right.
you could be
Ring doorbells.
Yeah, like, yeah. Oh my gosh, I have like 4 cameras around my house, and I like.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll get
Body
alerts,
cameras.
and I'm like, oh, the freaking bird's eating again. Like, get out of here.
Right. Right. You're like, I'm okay. I'm safe. Then, okay, so cold case resolution, like in the 90s, there was like forensic science, and that helped law enforcement revisit cold cases. And that was like a significant drop in serial killers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what? That's true. I was thinking about that. I was like, you don't really hear about like serial killers anymore.
Yeah. I mean, they're cleaning it up, I guess. So
Everybody is more like, just leave us alone because we're so traumatized by everything
Yeah.
going on. They don't even have a desire to kill. Like,
yeah.
I mean, because like, I know it's in the media is completely false, but like Chicago actually has had like one of its lowest murder rates in years.
Yeah, it says after a spike in the early 2020s, the murder rate between last year and this year fell to levels not seen since 1900.
So, I mean, why is that though? It's because, you know,
Yeah.
people are fearful and
Yep.
are just like, I don't know what it. That is interesting. What is changing? Is it because people can be caught? Is it because people are afraid to go outside? Is it because people are just so disenfranchised with the world or too depressed to kill? Like, what is it? Do you know what I mean?
Everyone's busy and tired. So I don't know.
I'm not
but-
complaining. I'm happy about that statistic. But it's
Right,
just
but it's like, why?
interesting to be like, what's going on? You know, like what is changing?
Yeah. Property crime has dropped by roughly 66% since 1991.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
that's
why don't we
wild.
have kids walking alone like we used to and playing outside? Like, do you know what I mean? Like going to each other's houses and being like, okay, I'm just going to like ride my bike over. I mean, I know some kids do, but like there's so many stories you hear of people being like, I called the cops because I saw an 8-year-old walking alone in the street, which I'm not going to lie. If I saw that, I would probably be like,
Yeah.
where you going, fella? You know, because it's just like in our nature now to be like, are they okay? But like when we were kids, we did that all the time. Mm-hmm. And it
I
was
don't
more
know.
dangerous. If this,
Yeah.
according to these statistics, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why. I will say that kids are definitely overscheduled.
This is true.
You know, like if you're in 10 activities, like you're not going to be like playing in the street in your neighborhood, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
that's one thing I like about where I live. Like my mom always is like, you live in Mayberry, because I don't know what it is about this suburb, but like the kids play in the streets and ring each other's
Yeah.
bells and like go on their bikes. And like I see what I would term like free range kids. Like I call
Yeah.
them like everywhere. Like they're so
Yeah.
like I'm not kidding you, a 5-year-old that rides his bike in the streets and he knows the hand signals.
wow. That's crazy.
And I'm like, that's a little young, but
You're like, I think it's good. I'm also confused.
I think it's weird when I see toddlers walking to their Montessori school by themselves. I'm just saying, like, and I have seen that, you know.
That is weird. Yeah, that's strange.
And I'm like, Lacey, you're scared to ride the bus, and there's a 4-year-old walking to school by themselves. Like, I'm not even joking.
yeah, Well, it says, despite a 30-year decline, the public often perceives that crime has increased. But that's just, yeah, I mean, that's like the media and
Right.
our administration. And
Right.
like it works for people, for other people to be scared. So,
Right. It's just so interesting. That is just so
I know.
interesting. Huh.
it's fascinating.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, another great film. Loved it.
Yeah.
And highly recommend this and the first.
If you have 4 hours of time
yeah.
to sit down and watch it all the way through, I know that seems like a lot, but just make a day of it. Like it's
Just do
worth it. You will walk away being like, I wish there was more. It's just so, it's one of those made for TV movies that you just can't get enough of. I could rewatch it once a week and not feel
Yeah.
tired of it. There's very few. Although I will say, Steph, since you introduced Long Island Lolita into my life, I could watch that every week. I love
It's a
that
favorite.
movie.
It's so good.
Oh, it's so good.
so good.
We have, that reminds us, everyone, I don't know if you've seen the new, like, Mary Jo, like,
I Am Mary Jo.
I Am Mary Jo, but we want to
Yeah.
review that soon because that looks amazing.
We do. That is going to be very interesting, I think, because it's being made now,
Yeah.
and it's 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So as always, continue to tune in and share us with all your friends. We love the support,
Yes.
and we have a really great lineup of movies this year. We're also on Instagram, and I think we're pretty much on like every platform that host podcasts. So please check us out. Feel free to comment and write in any suggestions that you have.
Yes.
And otherwise, just stay safe and keep watching movies.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.